These are schools within the state sector. We call them maintained schools. They're maintained by the state. And it's part of an agenda that was started back in 2005 by the previous administration. And it talks about bringing much greater diversity to the education sector. And at the heart of that is the transformation of the traditional role of the local authority in running our state schools and bringing in a much more diverse range of providers. We've already got 40% of schools roughly in the UK that are faith-based schools, so this is looking at the other 60%. The present coalition government have accelerated that process, that I would describe as the breakup of the state system and the marketisation of education and the halfway house in many ways towards the for-profit providers coming in. And we see the cooperative schools utilising that reform legislation to develop an alternative, very distinct multi-stakeholder cooperative model.
So what funding, if any, comes from the community or the parents, the teachers? Do they contribute as well?
Not in that sense, not in any meaningful sense. The trust that you established, it's quite a complex piece of legislation. The land and assets, the physical premises, transfer from the local authority to a charitable trust, which the trust then is the custodian of those assets on behalf of the school or group of schools. So we see that as safeguarding those assets in perpetuity for the community. But the good thing is that by becoming a charity, not part of the state system, the trust can then apply for charitable funding. And a whole number of the schools that we work with have been very successful in applying for new charitable funding, particularly to support some of the community education, outreach, starting to engage parents, starting to engage the community, and actually having a real vision of lifelong learning and using key community assets for the benefit of the whole community and not just those X hours a day when they would be open for normal schooling. So I think that's another aspect that we expect to see develop quite significantly in the coming years. Mm. All it needs is one catalyst, one community activist. They differ in every community, but in every community there are a small number of people that are the hub of all of the activities. I think that once they're inspired, whether it is the principal of the school, whether it's the mayor, whether it's someone who's the chair of a local housing cooperative or agricultural marketing cooperative or whatever, it's actually getting somebody that to take the initiative and see the potential. This is going back, what you're describing here is back to the absolute heart of cooperation, about self-help and self-responsibility, two of our absolute core values, that rather than wait for the state, actually saying, hang on, we can do this. We've got the skills in this community. We're not going to wait for them, provided they give us the core funding. We're going to get on with it ourselves. We've got a building down there. It used to be called a school. We're just going to knock it into shape. We've got the skills in this community. And once that momentum gets in place, there's absolutely no stopping it. And if you can do that, I think this is the really, really exciting piece, because that then becomes, as I said earlier, the absolute heart of that community. It's running adult education, it's putting lifelong learning into practice, it's running early years, the nursery schools there. You're actually getting really intergenerational activities from it and putting the school at the absolute heart of the community.
Would you like to move over here and show us how to put it into practice?